Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Monday morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend and had a big turkey. And I know y'all all ate too much and getting ready. A lot of y'all getting ready to go back to work and things about to get back to normal the next couple of weeks before you blink your eye. Now Christmas is going to be right around the corner. So just relax, enjoy this week. I'm glad y'all watching Panhandle Outdoors. Got a good show lined up. Got a special guest here. Some really good information. Got old Travis Bassford here with the FWC, and I say old, but he's actually still a young man, but he's just part of Panhandle Outdoors now when they're coming in with all kinds of stuff like this. So he's got some great stories. But first, let's go ahead and do our weather. High today, 72, low 54, and the moon phase, Monday moon phase. We're looking at a new moon tonight and tomorrow night. Completely dark skies, a great time to go floundering, getting ready to, they're really bunching up now and getting out of the pass. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We have a low tide at 5:39 this morning and a high tide at 7:52. Let's go ahead and do our fishing game time for today. They're looking at their time. They're going to be 10:59 to 12:59. Okay, and then tonight 11:22 to 1:22. That's going to be a dark midnight, and I know there'll be some folks out there floundering even on Monday night. Some folks will be out there because a lot of commercial guys will be really hitting it hard tonight. Okay, let's take our break, come back with Travis. Okay, welcome back. And as I said earlier, here's Travis Bassford.
Good morning.
Good morning, Travis. Glad to have you on this Monday morning. Now, I know all kinds of things been going on and getting over a really busy time for y'all. So how you been?
I've been doing great. Been busy with work, busy at home, and busy in the woods. So
that's good.
Great time of year.
It is. That little cold snap felt good, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Felt like a late fall, early winter finally.
Felt like it's supposed to feel.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, we got all kinds of things going on. So let's touch base. Let's tell everybody what's going on with it.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of hunting season, and it's going good. This cold weather's, I'm sure everyone's appreciating that with this mild of fall we had earlier. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about some migratory bird seasons, and then we'll get into deer season. But we're in the phase 2 of dove right now, and that's going to go out December 5th. So hopefully this cold weather pushes more birds down. I know on our place we never really got them in that first phase. Yep. So I'm hoping I'm going to go look here in a couple days again and see if we've got any on some of our peanut fields up there in Jackson County. But we've got phase 2, and the important thing about phase 2 is you can hunt all day as far as your migratory bird shooting hours. So half hour before sunrise until sunset. Phase 1 was afternoon hunting only, noon till sunset. So that's going to be phase 2 and phase 3 for doves. And then when it comes to waterfowl season, we were talking about before the break here that Deer Point, they drew it down. It's going to be a 120-day drawdown this year, trying to kill some of that vegetation because it's just gotten so bad, and this cold weather is going to help with that as well. But I just want to encourage everyone. I grew up on Deer Point. People are out there duck hunting. Excuse me. People are out there fishing. Just use caution when you're navigating the lake, because I still find stuff that I didn't know was ever there. Once this lake's drawn down up there, excuse me, in Bayou George, had that ski course up there. There's actually a big stump flat underneath that you'll never know is there until they draw it down. So just want to encourage everyone to be careful.
And you got to know where that stuff is, because if you're out there going fast, a lot of these guys go fast now.
Exactly, and they like to, and a lot of people like to fish when it's down. Yeah. It's pretty good fishing as well. So
and this is a great time, seriously, as long as it's going to be drawn down, to get out there and just get on the lake, physically on the lake, and just learn some of that new stuff, because when it gets down, you can find some good spots.
You can, and some good places to fish maybe when it goes back up. So, but they had a pretty good first phase here of our waterfowl season. I talked to some friends of mine. We don't have the huge flocks of redheads and bluebills down yet, but they got some shooting in. I talked to, we had the opening weekend a couple weekends ago of our waterfowl, and I talked to some friends of mine that went on the bay, and they were one shy of a limit of redheads, which was good. It was right before we had the cold snap, and then I heard some good shooting at Deer Point. That woke me up that opening weekend. So I've been working some late nights lately, but they've been doing pretty good. So again, Deer Point's going to be down the entire duck season, so be careful out there, whether you're fishing, boating, hunting, and then on the waterfowl seasons, we're out of that first phase now, and the regular season will come in December 10th through January 29th.
Okay, December 10th. That's going to be a good time.
That will,
Yeah,
and
really will be.
that's the main season, and I think we're going to get some more cold weather this year, so that'll be good.
You know, I was surprised too because I've got some pictures. I may show them later today of some nice redheads that were taken. I thought it was a little early for them, and I was surprised to see them over in the West Bay area.
Yep, I've heard good on West Bay, St. Andrews Bay, and I mean they're a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
But usually when you see the big flocks and you see people getting them, it's in the later in the year, into January. But yeah, hey, that's good they're down.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear a report from Lake Seminole because I know there's some hardcore duck hunters that hit Lake Seminole up that area really good.
Yes, sir.
So we'll get a report from there too, and also the river system. I did talk to some guys, Bill Shields and Bill Adams, some of those guys who are on the wood ducks. There's always going to be wood ducks on the river system.
Oh yeah.
And you know the river's low now, so they're more concentrated. And all you got to do on that river hunting, you just got to find them. And a lot of times, once you get them located, they're going to be coming back in there. But you know, don't forget, you can't shoot them on the roost.
Exactly.
Like in the old days, it wasn't that big a deal. But it's not legal to shoot them on the roost. Now, what's the legal shooting time?
Yeah, it's sunset. You've got to stop. So I've always told people it is very difficult to legally hunt wood ducks in the evenings.
Yeah,
because sometimes they come in there with their night vision on.
Exactly. They're not going to come in there early. That's just where they are.
Right.
And really what I learned over the years, I try to get people to do that way back in the day. We hunted them that morning when they flew out.
Right.
Because, you know, once it got, what's illegal in the morning? We were legal.
You can go a half hour before, so it's very barely cracking day, and you can get them on the way out, and that's the way to do it.
And way back when this is over around the Panhandle area, a long time ago, I knew we had them roosted up. I knew a lot of them in there. I told these guys, I said, don't go shoot those ducks on the roost. I said, if you shoot one and wound him and all, and he dies in that pond, they'll leave.
Yeah.
So I shot him that next morning, and then that next afternoon, those crazy boys came in and shot him. And the next 2 days I went there, and what had happened, they
run
left.
them out. Yeah, they run them out.
What happened. So be aware of that. So wood duck hunting in the afternoon is not that good. Okay, let's take a quick break and come back to Travis. Okay, welcome back. There was FWC Officer Travis Bassford, and we've got all kind of information. We've got a great case of the month coming up, but before we get there, you've got some more good stuff.
Oh yeah, let's just continue. I'm going to continue to go over these seasons and remind people some of the fine details. We're going to go into deer season. You know, we just had General Gun open for our traditional 4 days over Thanksgiving Day, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday following, and that was a lot of fun. And then we're going to have the regular season open December 10th through February 19th. That's regular General Gun this year for our Zone D. Which we're in the Panhandle, basically from Leon County to Escambia County, and that's divided into 2 units as well, which is separated by I-10. So down here in Bay County, we're in Deer Management Unit 1 in Zone D, and just like we've been doing this a couple years now with the antler restriction, as far as the number of points you need to have, and a point is defined as a scorable is going to be at least 1 inch long. Okay. So you need to have 2 on one side or more down here south of I-10 in our region. 3 on one side or more north of I-10, and there's one caveat to the north of I-10, or it can have the buck can have a main beam length of 10 inches or more. So we talked about that last year. If it's a cowhorn spike, you could take it if it's got that long beam up north of I-10. One thing I want to remind everyone is if it's a hunter that's less than 16 years old and they want to take a buck, it goes back to the old rule, which is 5 inches or more. Visible antler above the hairline. So
that's a good rule there.
Right, because we want the youth, and I don't know how many people, you kill your first deer. It doesn't matter if it's a giant or a little spike. So that gets their blood going and introduces them to the outdoors, which is what it's all about. So I want to remind everyone there, if you're taking a child, they're allowed to go back to the old rule system on the antler restrictions anyways. So that's good. And then doe days, we've got that, or antlerless deer season.
That's right.
Same thing, we're going to have 8 for north of I-10, 4 for south of I-10.
Okay.
So we just had 2 of them, which was the Saturday and Sunday after Thanksgiving. Right. And then we're going to have 6 more up north of I-10 and only 2 more down here. So in Bay County, the last 2 would actually be, let's see, it's going to be December 31st and January 1st, so it'd be New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day. So
that is going to be a good time.
It is, and that's when most people are off work and
it'll be
they
good
can
and
go.
cold, and it'll be good.
Exactly, deer should be moving. So that's something to look forward to. We got some cold weather. I've heard good reports. I mean, we had a lot of good bow season kills this year, but when gun season is usually when we see a lot more. Some real nice deer being brought in. So that's and one thing I talked about last month that I want to touch on again real quick on the hunter safety courses. I had someone call me the other day and I explained to him over the phone that hunter safety mentoring exemption program. They were able to take advantage of that and introduce somebody into hunting using that program to buy a license for 1 year without completing the hunter safety course, and then after that he'll need to do it. But we do have a few more coming up in our area at the Bay County Shooting Range for the internet students. That field day where you actually get out there, shoot a .22, get to shoot a shotgun if you want, maybe a bow and arrow. That's December 3rd. Okay. If you've done your online portion of the hunter safety course, you can go December 3rd to the Bay County Shooting Range and do your field day. And in Walton County, we've got it the same date, December 3rd, up in the Funiac.
Okay.
So that'll be good.
That's a good idea too.
Good to do, and if you can get that, then you've got the rest of the year where you can hunt. So a lot of good things coming up. We've like I said, we've got the cold weather, and I think we're going to see some successful hunts. So.
Well, and I think the deer population is just hanging in there. I think it just keep going up a little bit at a time. I don't know if they've done any studies lately, but hunters, we don't really put a dent in it as much as productive as they are and all. And that's really why we got to take these does.
Right.
If not, they'll take over.
Yeah.
You around farm. You grew up in farm country up there in Jackson County.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer
You
up
know
there.
what they can do.
There are, and back to the ducks. I spoke with a biologist when I was down south, and they told me that legal waterfowl hunting has very little impact on our waterfowl population. It has more to do with rainfall, habitat, and how the breeding season went, stuff like that. So as long as it's legally, and I emphasize the term legally, they say it doesn't have that huge of an impact on our duck population.
Oh, I know a question I was going to ask you, so I didn't ask you ahead of time, so I'm going to put you on the spot here, speaking of legal and legality. I had guys that told me, and actually, they're doing it in Georgia, so I don't know if it's legal in Florida or not. It makes sense. They're taking these big old blue barrels out there in the field and putting water in them for the animals. Yeah. That's fine, isn't it?
Nothing wrong with that in Florida.
Instead of throwing corn out there, put water out for them.
Well, with the drought we've been in,
and that's
that probably will attract them.
We were talking lunch the other day, ran a group of hunters and all, and we talked about an hour, and that's something they brought up. They first almost did it accidentally, and they said notice they had all kind of tracks around it, and then they started, they would take it out in the trucks, out in the field, and pour it out there. And really,
probably a good idea.
Really, the big old blue barrels, cut in half,
hold it,
and hold it. And I've noticed even around my house, we've got a bird bath, and I mean we'll keep watering the whole time, and just all kind of stuff coming to it. And it's so dry.
They're gonna come to water, and I've seen them do that. I think on TV out in Texas.
Okay.
Too. So yeah, I mean, they need water just like they need food.
They're not feeding corn. They said it's a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, that's free. So there you go.
All right, we got some really good case of months and all. We're gonna take our final break and come right back. Okay, welcome back. Sitting with Officer Travis Bassford, and we're talking about all kind of things. And remember, red snapper season just wrapped up, but overall, it was a pretty good season overall, but then it slowed down.
It was. Toward the end, it slowed down. Not as many people going out, and state season was open a long time, but people harvested a lot of snapper and had a great time, in state waters at least.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll see what's in store for next year. Now, we do know that triggerfish, as far as we know, by NOAA is sort of calling off triggerfish. We're going to know more about it later.
We will, and they're going to try to open at least for a couple months, but we'll have to see because from what I've heard, they said that as far as federal waters, they met the quota and exceeded it, so they're going to try to back that off for 2017 as well.
Okay. Okay, now. Well, what else we got on here?
Well, we've got, that's what I was meaning to talk about earlier. We've got the Warren Bayou closure, the steam plant canal, where it comes out of West Bay, the discharge canal. It's November through February every year, and then March 1st it will reopen. So want to remind everyone, catch and release only. Catch and release only for your big speckled trout in there, redfish, there's flounder, there's all kinds of stuff that runs up in that canal. Yeah. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun, but you got to let them go until it opens, and that'll open on March 1st.
Yeah, a great time to go in there, and it is good to take a young person and just let them catch. But do release them.
Exactly. Okay. And then next, I guess, You talked about this, and you were up there, but the Bay County Shooting Range, they opened up that new sporting clay course and all that stuff.
That was a great. I had that video on it. I know you saw it last week, and it was just a great experience. All kind of shooting going on up there. I tell you what's going to sort of wasn't advertised much and talked about much, but you're going to start seeing the archery section of that really, because a lot of people, especially on the beach, had a call from a lady. She wants her little 8-year-old daughter to learn how to shoot.
Shoot a bow and arrow.
By the way, if y'all want to do lessons, anybody wants to give lessons for archery, let me know, because she's willing to pay people to teach their daughter to do it. And but that's going to be a good place to do that kind of stuff.
It is.
In addition to the gun, the rifle, the pistols, and skeet shooting. And
who would have thought?
And I tell you what, the NRA guy said. I didn't know this, and nobody knew this. He told us out of 67 counties in Florida, only 5 of them have public gun ranges as far as the county itself.
Not privately owned.
Yeah, not privately owned. So they're going to try to get one in each county, and they're going to use the Bay County model as a model for the whole state.
Oh, that's impressive. Yeah. And we're blessed to have that here. Who would have thought Panama City would have something that, it's what you see usually on a big county or big city, but
well, here's what happened when you get outdoorsmen in elected positions, in the county commissioners, the Bill Dozers, Mike Thomases, the Guy Turnells, these guys know this stuff, and they're a driving force. So that's why it's a big deal to elect outdoorsmen, good quality people too.
Yeah, and I think we're going to reap the benefits, and everyone's going to be able to enjoy it for years. So
all right, let's get this case of month exciting, because this just happened. So go, you ready for it?
Sure. I'll tell the story.
This is him. He's involved in this one.
So I'll tell the story, and it was a good case. So Officer Dennis Palmer, I've talked about Dennis before, real good FWC officer here, and this is in the Northwest region where this case was made. He was working night hunting one night late, and he was getting his stuff ready, and he heard a shot right close to his location. So he ran up the road in the direction of the shot and saw a vehicle pull off of a side road and then just gun it. It pulled off and then was traveling at a high rate of speed. We'll put it that way. So he initiated a traffic stop, had another officer in the area that backed him up immediately after that. And as soon as the other officer got there to back up, Dennis had the passenger, which these were the people that had shot. Obviously, the passenger opened the passenger door of the vehicle and bailed out on foot, took off.
Oh, man.
So the backup officer kind of went around, tried to locate him, was unable to do so, came back to the original stop location. They took down the driver, detained him. He was actually compliant and cooperative. And a short interview later, he ended up basically telling them, hey, we shot this buck off the side of the road. Hey, this is where it was. He said, I don't know where the gun is, but it's not here. They're thinking maybe it got thrown out. So the officers were looking for the firearm, which is obviously part of the case. Couldn't find it. They called Officer Matt Gore, our K-9 unit, out. He came out with his dog, which our canines are trained in fish and wildlife detection. And then our big thing they do is man tracking and firearm detection, whether it be the gunpowder or the oil, whatever. They can find, whether it be a bullet, a gun, whatever, they'll find it. So put the dog out. The dog found the rifle where it had been thrown out of the vehicle, on the way to the traffic stop. So recovered that, got the driver, and then now that case is still ongoing, but there's some warrants going to be issued for the passenger that fled on foot that night. So it was a real good case by Dennis and the other officers there. Matt Gore was there, and a great job by his dog. Good team effort to make that case.
Well, that is awesome. That's a classic. That's like I see on these TV chases and all, where they bail out, throw out the gun, and bail out. I mean, this happened right here in the Northwest region.
Yeah, right here.
And our local guys are involved in it. I'm always fascinated when the dog comes out, how good they are.
They are, and they're...
How long did it take them to find it?
It didn't take him too long. I'd say within the hour. So they had a pretty good area they had to search. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
The car's going fast. And
right.
You don't know.
So they're looking for miles, but that dog found it, and that's going to be a key piece of evidence in the case. And it was a great job. Like I say, great job by Dennis. Great job by Matt Gore and his K-9, because that's something, we try to catch these people. We know it goes on. And that's another thing I say every time. I want to encourage everyone out there. Your eyes and ears, you see something, you hear something, give us a call, because we can't be everywhere.
Yeah, these next couple of months, you're at the peak of the season for night hunting.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to kick off, and so we as outdoor citizens, we got to let them know. Especially, and a lot of times y'all get a call from people who live in the area and hear a gunshot at 11 o'clock. And,
Right.
And so you guys and ladies live out in the country and all. Y'all know what to expect and not expect. What fascinates me too is law enforcement is they're under constant bombardment and pressure and all. A lot of times you don't know if a weapon's in the car or not. The regular the sheriffs and the highway patrol and all that, but you guys FWC, you pretty well know there's a weapon in a vehicle.
We expect it.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
You're dealing with people in the woods that's going to have a gun. So
exactly. So we kind of handle it a little different sometimes.
Yeah, almost 100% of the time, y'all are looking at a weapon. Yeah.
Exactly. And but the good news is the case was made. Everyone stayed safe.
Yeah.
And the other suspect, like I say, it's still ongoing, but more than likely he's going to be brought to justice soon. And I'll give you an update on it when that disposition finishes up.
Yeah, we want to follow that one too. That's going to be a good one.
Yep.
And what else in the wintertime? What are some other what a lot of cases you make? They're overfishing for trout sometimes. I know
they will, and they're starting to show up Cook's Bayou. I know some people have been getting them at Deer Point Dam. But before winter really kicks in, flounder's going on good right now.
Yes.
We had I know people are getting them gigging. But I'm hearing a lot of reports and seeing it where they're getting them rod and reel, hook and line in the pass and also on the St. Andrews State Park Pier.
Yep.
They're getting a lot of nice fish out there.
Yeah,
I mean, quality fish. As they're
good.
getting ready to move offshore, coming by them, I guess. But, I've seen some 20-plus inchers brought in, and that's a good flounder. What they call doormats. So.
Yeah, just this past week, it seems like right the week before Thanksgiving, and this week it's just been really good floundering.
Oh yeah, it's been great, and the water's clear. We haven't had rain, so you got good visibility.
Oh, water's amazingly clear.
Oh, it's awesome, and I'll tell you where else it's clear. It's clear in the lake too.
Really?
Deer Point is really cleared up. I mean, we haven't had rain, and it's been a month and a half, almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So.
A good time to get out.
Yep.
We're going to wrap it up, Travis. Always appreciate you coming on.
Always enjoy it.
And we appreciate the job you and all your workers do. Y'all do a great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Folks, I also appreciate your viewership. And now tomorrow we got some good video tomorrow coming up, and also the rest of the week we got some really good shows coming up here the week after Thanksgiving. So thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.